Welcome back. Listen Up is exploring stories that have fallen from the headlines, from hope for Pakistan to despair in Pakistan. But first, Statistics Canada says half of Canadian women experience at least one incident of physical or sexual violence after age 16. The White Ribbon Campaign is the world's largest effort of men working to end violence against women, and these men say those stats must change.
In Toronto's business core, these men are taking literally the platitude to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, even if those shoes happen to have 3-inch heels.
The White Ribbon Campaign started in 1991. It was 2 years after the Montreal Massacre, and a couple guys here in Toronto decided there had to be a role and a responsibility that men had in working to end violence against women. And so they came up with the symbol and a pledge we still use today, which is a man's commitment to never use, condone, or remain silent about violence against women. And from these 3 guys in Toronto, it's now an action that is present in 60 countries around the world. If we don't work with men, we're never going to get to the solutions, the core causes of the problems of violence against women. Women aren't committing violence against other women, it's men that are doing it.
Jeff knows that reality all too well.
Growing up for me, when I was about 4, I started seeing my mom covered in bruises from my father and my mom being a victim of abuse.
Finding his voice to say no, Jeff walks to model honor and respect for the women in his life. And he's not alone.
It's for all the women in my life, my mother, my sister, my daughter, my friends, my coworkers.
Although you can't help but smile watching these men hobble in high heels, violence against women is no laughing matter. The United Nations reports that globally, 70% of women experience physical or sexual violence from men in their lifetime. That 5,000 women and girls are murdered every year in the name of so-called honor becomes even more chilling as experts say honor killings are on the rise in Canada. The murder of a family member, usually a wife or daughter, because she is believed to have brought shame to her family, is a new reality for an increasingly multicultural Canadian society. Since 2002, the murders of 13 women identified as honor killings have made the national headlines. This Kingston canal holds the story of 4 women found submerged in a vehicle, allegedly murdered by family members for supposed immoral behavior. Ending violence against women is sure to be a slow and painful journey. But for these men, it starts one small stiletto step at a time. What keeps you pushing on?
The White Ribbon Campaign is such a great cause, and I've got a great team with me. They're way ahead, but I'm just going to keep going and try to catch up and finish this race.
For Listen Up TV, I'm Ricky Ratliff.
Joining me now is a woman who knows firsthand about culturally entrenched violence against women. Aneela Batool is a journalist who hails from Pakistan, where in 2009, more than 600 women were killed in the name of honor. Aneela, when these honor killings hit the news here in Canada, it opened fresh wounds for you. Why?
It was just like, it's like my story with a different, version. Another young woman was killed just on the name of, honor, for the sake of honor, and honor which is, very controversial. It's not the actual honor which our men think about, and they have their primitive beliefs and ideals on which, they tailor-made a character for their women, and they want them to fit into that.
You somehow found the courage to run. You realized you were being tricked, you were going to be killed because you had chosen to marry somebody who wasn't from the correct version of Islam that your family was. What gave you the courage to run and figure it all out, that your very life was at threat?
Yeah, because I was studying, and that was, because of him that I was introduced to a lot of other, other than what I have been taught in my home. Other, philosophy, economics, politics, and other. I was, about to get admission in university. So, knowledge, information, that has played a lot.
It gave you freedom.
Yeah, it gave me freedom.
You arrived in Canada just in 2009, and you are alarmed at what you are seeing about cultural practices that are bringing violence to women here. Tell us some examples. What are you alarmed at?
See, the one glaring example is Aksa Parvez, as
Yes.
my story starts with her, that she was not even involved with any, male or anybody. It was just like her choice of, how to dress like other teenagers, and the way she was brought up here. So she has, learned a lot from her friends, from her surroundings. So it was just a beautiful wish to live the way she liked. And that was, curbed. That was, they strangulate her just because expressing her will, her wish to be like her teenagers, her friends.
Aneela, what is your advice for women who are caught in a domestic fear and they think, this is my culture, I'm stuck, this is my family? What's your advice?
No, I think they should believe in themselves. They should be brave and courageous to take step what they think is best for their life. If they think that there is, great fear of them being killed, then they should leave that place.
Even though it's family, flee.
Even though it's family, flee, but try to get legal protection
Go to the police.
as far as it is possible, or any shelter home, or anywhere they can find themselves safe, and then they fight further, because it's not like only fleeing. The stigma goes for a longer time with your life. Even if for me, many of my relatives, though I have made peace with my family, but many of my relatives still thinks that what I did was a shame to my family.
Aneela, thank you for
so
writing
much.
about this. Thank you for,
Thank you
as a
so
new
much.
Canadian, for telling us of these dangers, and we appreciate that. You can learn more about Aneela Batool at our website. When we return, hidden beneath her black and blue sari were painful scars. From fairy tale to nightmare,